Hi YouTube, today I bring you an e-cigarette called eonsmoke. There it is. They saw my tips video I did quite a while back and emailed me and asked me if I wouldn't mind doing uh, a review of their product. And I said I would. I'd consider doing it. Um, and they sent me some for free. So I didn't pay for these. They're not paying me anything. They just sent me some and said, here, try these and do a review. So that's what you get. So what we've got here is one of the little boxes that you see in convenience stores and stuff. And according to Eon Smoke's website, um, they claim to already have their product in over 5,000 retail outlets around I'm assuming around the United States. I don't know if they're anywhere else yet. Um, Pretty nice packaging, pretty nice box. One of the things I like is it tells you what flavor the cartridges are and the strength of the nicotine that comes in the thing. I apologize about my video camera. This is my backup camera. My other one died, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. But that says tobacco and 18 milligrams. Um, One of the things I did like about it right away is that the back has easy to follow directions on how you're supposed to assemble it and use it. Has your typical warning about being 18 years old, and get this warning at the bottom of the box. As far as I know, they're the only company that puts a warning like that on their box. It's about quitting smoking. How clever is that? Take something from a cigarette, a negative thing, from a cigarette package and put it on this. It's almost like a subliminal aid to suggesting that this would be better for you, because it is. Now, if you've watched my tips video, you already know I am not a fan of what we call cig-alikes. I don't think they're economical. I don't think they're very effective. I started out with them 4 years ago and kept smoking for a couple of years after that because they just didn't work very well. Um, but they must have seen it too, or they wouldn't have emailed me and asked me to do a review. But either way, I'm going to do a review on this one, and it's kind of what I consider a cig-alike. Now, what is a cig-alike? Is a product that is designed for somebody that wishes they were still smoking, in a nutshell. So it's kind of the size of a cigarette. This this holds all your e-liquid in it and the heating element. And what I'm screwing it onto is a battery. This is basically a KR808 battery. I don't think the technology has changed much in several years, but there it is. So it's basically the size of a cigarette. A lot of their competitors are offering the same thing you'll see in retail outlets, convenience stores, and such too. This is particularly known as an automatic because, like a cigarette, it only really does something when you puff on it. Where the more advanced e-cigarettes have a button on them that you press to activate it, like a flashlight or anything else. Those are known as manual batteries, and they're my personal preference. But for somebody that really wanted an alternative that was most like a real cigarette, this is what they're going to find in a lot of convenience stores, and they're probably going to take home with them. So you'll notice the end lights up when you puff on it. It even kind of glows like a real cigarette. So that's kind of, I guess I could see how that would be comforting to somebody that has made the right choice and left their cigarettes at home. Um, but like I said, I'm not a fan. They were kind enough to send me their product. I'm not going to intentionally knock their product or anybody else that wants to send me something to review. I'm going to try to give an impartial review on that, um, even knowing that I'm not particularly fond of this design of electronic cigarette. That said, the company does have a limited lifetime guarantee, which I think they're the only ones that do. Most of their big competitors have a 1 year limited. Free shipping, which is nice. Um, this package retails, according to their website, suggested manufacturer's retail price is $29.95, which seems a little high to me anyway. These are some of the replacement cartridges that screw onto them. Uh, they sent me several different flavors to try. There's 5 in each one of these boxes. A box of these, 5 of these, retails for $14.95, just shy of $15. and a replacement battery, which they were also kind enough to send me. Also retails for $14.95. So you're looking at $15 for a spare battery, $15 for these, $30 for your basic starter kit. And the big difference in the basic starter kit is you get this cute little USB charger. You know, you screw the thing into it and it recharges. They claim about 2 to 2.5 hours to recharge one of these. So I'm guessing that's about a 250 milliamp battery. And my experience, I've had these for about a week. That seems about right. They're about 2.5 hours to recharge. This one I actually, for the cigarette person, this is one thing I don't quite understand. This is their basic kit, and it includes the black battery in it. Their spare batteries are these white ones, and they even have kind of a texture on them, sort of like cigarette paper does. And to me, that makes, you know, for somebody that wants something that looks like a cigarette, I think that's going to do the job a little better. Let me put one together, and I'll show you. Whoa, a cigarette. Looks like one too at first glance, doesn't it? That's eonsmoke. And these automatics have about a 5 second cutoff. So if you hit on it as hard as you can, you get about a 5 second drag before the battery flashes a bunch of times telling you that it's going to shut itself off. So we'll show you that too. It's about 5 seconds. It takes about a 5 second puff to get something equivalent to what you would get off of a lit cigarette, in my experience. It's been a long time since I smoked, but tobacco flavor. I haven't had a tobacco flavor or anything in a long time, and now I remember why. I don't know how long one of these batteries lasts. If you're really pushing it to the max, 5 seconds every time you take a drag. eonsmoke claims that these cartridges are supposed to be the equivalent of 20 to 30 cigarettes each. So if you buy a package of 5 of these, you get 2 of them with the starter kit. If you buy a package of 5 of these for $15, you're looking at $3 a piece for these, and they should, according to the company, last you approximately as long as a pack of cigarettes would. I don't know about that. I would say that these, well, I'll get to that in a second. The battery, I got about two hours worth of use out of the battery before, and it'll flash 10 times when it tells you it needs to be recharged, and then about another 2.5 hours to recharge it. I'll get back to that too. There's another point. If you were really giving it a 5 second drag every time you took a drag, you could probably run one of these down in about half an hour or so. But nobody does that. That's like chain smoking a whole pack of cigarettes one after another. My standard vaping, which is similar to how I would have been smoking a cigarette, I got about, I don't know, at least 2 hours worth of use out of the battery. And while I can't claim that this is the equivalent, now this is something I want to step back a second. 4 years ago with the old 808s, and I was going to have another one here as a comparison to show you. But it died. It's 4 years old. I haven't used it a whole lot in 4 years, but it didn't live very long. Back in those days, they were basically drippers. You took it apart, and you put a few drops of liquid in it, put it back together. You puffed on it for a while. It started tasting a little dry. You added more liquid. These self-sealed ones, and I don't, these are packaged with the flavor inside them from the factory. I can't imagine they get a whole lot of liquid in here, but I got a surprising amount of puffs off of this before it started losing its flavor. Not this tobacco flavored one, but I think I did their apple flavor, which wasn't terrible, but I wouldn't give it any awards. It's probably comparable to any other of these pre-filled Cigalite flavors. They're nothing really special to write home about, but if you're trying to shake cigarettes or you don't want to light a cigarette and you want one of these instead, you might find it something suitable. So it's leaving me to the impression that while these are basically an 1808, or an 808 like they used to use years ago, and still really haven't changed at all, that this one I suspect has been tuned to give you much more use, much more efficiency. You can tell now that that's good and bad. That means that if you carry one of these in your pocket and you're only puffing on it occasionally in place of a real cigarette, you're maybe going to get a couple hours before either the little flavor cartridge goes dead or the battery needs to be recharged. But on the flip side of that coin, you don't really get anything from it. It's not even it's not a very big puff. For the more experienced vapors out there, I'm going to tell you that the dryness I feel in my throat after using one of these several hours in a row suggests to me that it's probably got a higher concentration of PG or propylene glycol in it than what I'm used to. Too. I usually do about a 50-50 with PG. It tends to give a little bit more moisture puff of vapor. Um, so I'm suspecting that the formulation in the cartridge is probably formulated to get you the most puffs. I mean, you're going to get a bunch of little tiny puffs out of this for hours and hours and hours. Even if you puff on it long and hard. Now that's something like what I would expect from a cigarette. Oh, tobacco is terrible. Not Eon smokes flavor necessarily. I think any tobacco tastes nasty, and that's no better. We'll throw the coffee flavor back on. Tastes a little bit to me like a good quality instant coffee, but it was. I think I did one of these. I got 3 hours out of one of these while I was watching TV the other day. Not bad. The other flavors, flavor. The first rule of flavor is that flavor is subjective. Everybody's going to have their own opinions about what they like and what they don't like. In a nutshell, seems like a well-built product covered by a very good warranty. Um, they also included a discount coupon, which I'm not going to show you the other side of because I don't want to give it away. But they are known for giving away coupons with their product too, so you can save money on your reorders. I kind of wish that, like one of their competitors that I'm aware of, that they had a cartridge exchange program set up, and that means that when these are gone, I mean they're basically metal and plastic. When it's gone, when it's no good anymore, instead of throwing them in the garbage can, one of their competitors does this. You send them in a number of the empty ones, and they take that as credit towards your next purchase of refills, which I think is a great idea. I don't know if they actually recycle them or not. Maybe they ship them back to China where they're made, and they have a way of recycling them there. But at least they're not ending up in the landfill or in a ditch somewhere along the road. Um, Not a bad product. The price makes me kind of wonder for, this is a product that because you're buying it in a convenience store, it's going to be for somebody that is curious about e-cigarettes. For somebody that's already made the switch, if you're a typical smoker, you're going to probably want to have something that's going to get you through a whole day. Um, at $15 a piece for the replacement batteries, with about a 2 hour shelf life, or usage life before they need to be recharged. You're looking at about six of those at $15 a piece is almost $100 right there, just in the batteries. You buy the starter kit, that's another 30. You're still looking at over $100 to get something that's going to get you through a whole day. With confidence, knowing that you're going to have a battery with some charge in it, and then the flavor cartridges. However, that's not to say that their prices are any worse than their competitors who have similar price scheduling set up. Um, so that's about it. Eon Smoke, if you catch this and you get ready to spend some money to hire a marketing consultant, give me an email. Let's talk. Thanks for watching.